Bonjour everyone, welcome to French Crash Course 3.0. Topic we'll be discussing today is les pronoms relatifs, which includes les pronoms relatifs simples et les pronoms relatifs composés, which basically means relative pronouns in French. Relative pronouns are used to replace the subject in French. Just like in English we use that, this, right, which, and all of these things. So if I talk about les pronoms relatifs simples, that is simple relative pronouns. In French, we have three types. First is qui, second is que, third is ou. So we've got three examples: qui, que, ou. Okay. The main thing of qui and que is which or that, and ou is where. So qui and que means which or that, and ou means where. Let's first discuss about qui. Pronoun relatif qui is used to replace subject of the verb. Okay, subject of the verb. That is, for example, I have a sentence: regarde la fille, cette fille est belle. Look at the girl, this girl is beautiful. So first I have this girl, the girl. Girl is the subject, and the girl is repeated again. So whenever a subject is repeated two times, it is replaced. The second time is replaced by the pronom relatif simple. And since after the subject we have a verb, that is a is for être. I hope you are clear with the conjugations. Since we have être over there, we will be using qui. There were two possibilities, either to use qui or que to replace the subject, but we'll use qui since we have verb after the subject. So we'll be writing regarde la fille. Instead of cette fille, we'll be writing qui. Qui est belle. Which translates to look at the girl who is beautiful. So here qui refer to who. This can refer to which also and that also. That is beautiful, we will not say for human beings. We'll say who is beautiful. So regarde la fille, cette fille est belle. So the answer it became regarde la fille qui est belle. Now let's discuss about que. Que has the same usage like qui, but used before a noun or a pronoun. Like qui was used before a verb, que will be used before a noun or pronoun. And if that noun or pronoun is starting with a vowel, we'll be using que apostrophe, QU apostrophe instead of que. The meaning is same, which or that or who, right? Example says, c'est un bon roman, j'ai lu plusieurs fois ce roman, which means this is a good novel, I have read it many a times. Okay, I have read this novel many a times. So roman and roman, novel is repeated two times in the sentence, which means I have to replace it. But how do I know whether I have to use que or qui? See, the English translation would be this is a good novel that I have read many a times, right? Because the sentence says this is a good novel, I have read this novel many a times. So that I have read many a times. So que or qui will be placed before je, and je is a pronoun. I mean to say that que or qui is not placed before a, right? It is placed before je, and we all know that je is a pronoun, so we'll be using que. So the answer becomes c'est un bon roman que j'ai lu plusieurs fois. That this is a good novel that I have read many a times. So this is the usage of que or que apostrophe. Now, if instead of j'ai, it would have been, let's say, il a lu. It is a good novel. He has read this novel many a times. Then instead of que j'ai, we would have written qu'il a. So instead of que j'ai, we would have written qu'il a. That is the difference. I hope the difference is clear. The third relative pronoun with us is ou. Now the significance of ou is used to replace place or time. So the usage of ou would be to replace place or time, and the literal translation is where. In English, if we try to translate, it becomes where. Example says, tu connais l'appartement où Maria habite. You know the apartment where Maria lives. Okay, so you know the apartment where Maria lives. So où is for where. It's very easy because it talks about a place. Appartement, which is apartment. Apartment is a place. right, where Maria would live. So we will of course use où. The next relative pronoun with us is dont. Dont. Dont replaces a noun or pronoun followed by a preposition de. So it will only be used when you have preposition de in your sentence. It will be replacing that. And literal meaning turns out to be whom. Mostly whom. Okay. Of which. Another example. Of which. Because the has the meaning of or from or about. There are three meanings of the. The has three meanings: of, from, and about. So it's gonna replace the. We have a sentence with us. The sentence is on parle beaucoup de ce livre, which means one talks a lot about this livre. How do we replace this? We reverse the sentence. How to reverse the sentence? Listen to me. We write c'est un livre. What I did earlier, beaucoup de livre, livre was at the end. That one talks a lot about this book. So the reverse sentence will be, this is a book about which everyone talks. Right? About which one talks. So about which, the feeling of about which, that will be given by dont. Translate it to English, otherwise you will not be able to understand. C'est un livre dont on parle beaucoup. So the answer is c'est un livre dont on parle beaucoup. This is the way of doing it. If I take another example, c'est ma maison dont c'est ma maison dont on parle toujours. This is my house of which everyone always speaks about. Is it clear? So dont is used for giving the feeling of whom, of which, about which, from which, and all of these nuances. Till now we've talked about les pronoms relatifs simples, which gave a very simpler meaning. But now we are talking about les pronoms relatifs composés. Guys, the meaning of the word composé is composed. Like we've heard of passé composé, that is composed past tense, which consists of one auxiliary verb and one participe passé. Right, in passé composé you've read that. But what about pronoms relatifs composé? Composé means there have to be two elements involved. The two elements involved here would be the preposition that you've read plus les pronoms interrogatifs. That is prepositions plus interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are of four types: lequel, laquelle, lesquels, and lesquels. You've got four types of interrogative pronouns which will be combined with different prepositions like à, de, pour, sur, à cause, sous. All of these prepositions plus les pronoms interrogatifs, lequel, laquelle, lesquels, lesquels, they form les pronoms relatifs composés. Now let me tell you the significance of les pronoms relatifs simples. Preposition à, which is to, de, of, from, about, pour, for. So when I want to say to which, from which, for which, the exam for which I'm working very hard is very close. This is a sentence. So for which, that is, we are saying in English. What will we say in French? We'll say pour lequel, pour laquelle, pour lesquels, and pour lesquels, depending upon the number and gender, right, of the basically the thing that we are talking about, right? Like exams will be masculine and as well as plural, so we'll use this one. Let me tell you when do we use lequel, when do we use laquelle, lesquels, and lesquels. Okay, lequel is used in case of masculine singular condition. Okay, when our subject is masculine singular, for example livre, then we'll use masculine singular, lequel. Laquelle is used for feminine singular. Let's say trousse, pencil box, trousse. This is feminine singular. Lesquels is used in case of masculine plural. Okay, masculine plural. And lesquels, which is like this, is used with feminine plural. it is used with feminine plural. Let me revise. Les pronoms relatifs composés formed from preposition, any preposition. You have to understand the sentence. That is what I can do. If you don't know French, the vocabulary part, nothing can happen. I have made 5-6 videos on vocabulary. Please watch them. Les pronoms interrogatifs, which are lesquels, laquelle, lesquels, lesquels. Now let's talk about a very interesting case, which is too much asked in the examination and very important from examination point of view. Always remember, when a combines with lequel, it gives the meaning of to which. It forms auquel. A plus lequel forms auquel. In the same way, a plus laquelle forms a laquelle. A plus lesquels forms auquel. Remember, with an X. And a plus feminine singular lesquel forms auquel. Note it down, everyone. It's something which you have to remember. Meaning is to which. Auquel, a laquelle, auquel, auquel. Similarly, you can also make it with due. Sorry, I meant to say. I actually said the pronoms interrogatif. If I take the plus lequel, plus laquelle, plus lesquel, and the plus lesquel. The gives the idea of from, of, and about. 3 things. I've talked about them a lot many times, right? The plus lequel forms duquel. The plus laquelle forms the laquelle. The plus lesquel forms desquel. And the plus lesquel forms desquel again. That is the concept. I hope this much is clear. Now it's the question time of les pronoms relatifs simples et composés. We are starting our question series with 2019, CBSE 2019's question, which is relier les phrases en utilisant les pronoms relatifs composés. You have to rewrite them basically using the pronoms relatifs composés. The only way to solve the questions is by knowing the meaning of the question. If you don't know the meaning, if you don't know what the question is talking about, you will not be able to solve it. So the best part is to understand what is happening. The question first part says, posez-leur cette question. Posez-leur means ask them this question. There's a certain question, you have to ask them. Ask somebody. Vous voulez une réponse à cette question? You are wanting a response to this question. A is the preposition which is used. And since it is cette question gives us the idea of feminine singular. Our pronoun relative composite becomes a, laquelle, I mean to say. A, laquelle. Cette question is feminine, so for feminine, laquelle, and preposition is a. So we'll write, posez-leur cette question à laquelle vous voulez une réponse. Which translates to ask them the question to which you are wanting a response. Very logical, very simple. Let's move to the next question. Next question says, the next question says, rencontrez maintenant vos amis, vous n'avez pas pu aller chez vos amis. So meet now, right now, your friends, because you would not be able to go to them, right? You will not be able to go at the place of your friends. So, chez is the preposition that we have to use, chez, and vos amis gives us the feeling of masculine plural, which means we'll be writing lesquels. So the answer will become rencontrez maintenant vos amis chez lesquels, at the place of whom you would not be able to go. Vous n'avez pas pu aller. This is the answer of this question. The third statement says, ma mère est très gentille, j'achète toujours des fleurs pour elle. which means my mother is very gentle. I always buy the flowers for her. So the preposition over here is pour, for her. For her I buy. So my mother is very gentle, for whom I always buy the flowers. So pour is going to be the preposition, and since elle is what? Mère. Elle is what? Mother. Mother is not plural, right? There are not 5, 6 mothers, there's just one mother. So we'll be using singular one, and since mother is masculine, we'll be using laquelle. Laquelle. So we'll write ma mère est très gentille, pour laquelle, for whom. It can be for whom, for which, okay, both. Pour laquelle j'achète toujours des fleurs. Now let's solve a few questions of CBSE 2020 boards, which are very, very interesting. The first question says, la chaise est sale, tu vas t'asseoir sur cette chaise. So the chair is something, I don't know the meaning of sale. You are going to sit on this chair. So sur is the preposition. Okay, cette chaise gives us the idea of feminine singular, which means it's laquelle. So you can write la chaise est sale sur laquelle tu vas t'asseoir. You can copy it as it is. Join the sentence, then add sur laquelle and write from here. Sur laquelle tu vas t'asseoir. Till here only you have to write. Clear? Second says, la liberté est un concept. Tout le monde s'attache à ce concept. Which means the liberty is a concept. Everyone gets attached to this concept. A is definitely the preposition, because to which they are saying, to which we will write ce concept. Ce concept means masculine singular. So a and masculine singular is lequel. A plus lequel makes auquel. So you'll write la liberté est un concept auquel tout le monde s'attache. Like this. Auquel tout le monde s'attache. You can finish it like this. Last question. Ce sont mes amis d'enfance. Je jouais toujours avec eux. Which means these are my childhood friends and I used to play always with them. So we'll write these are my friends of the childhood with whom I always used to play. So I can say ce sont mes amis d'enfance avec lesquels, plural na, lesquels, avec lesquels je jouais toujours. Je jouais, imperfect. See, jouer, imperfect is used. Toujours. That's it for the session. I hope you could understand les pronoms relatifs composés. And n'oubliez pas à like, share and subscribe. Merci beaucoup.